Today, we're diving into a crucial topic that affects every part of our lives, communication. Whether you're talking with friends, participating in class, or resolving conflicts, the way you communicate can make a big difference in how your message is received and how successful you are in your interactions. Let's start with verbal communication, which is the most obvious form of communication because it involves using words to express ourselves. But even though we all talk, not everyone communicates effectively. This is where understanding different types of verbal communication comes in. Why do we communicate in the first place? The main reason is to get our needs met. Think about it. Whether you're hungry, feeling lonely, or need help with homework, communication is the tool you use to address these needs. Our needs can be emotional, physical, spiritual, social, or mental. For example, emotionally, you might want to share how you're feeling with a friend. Physically, you might need to tell someone if you're not feeling well. Spiritually, communication helps us express our values. Socially, it helps us build relationships. And mentally, it helps us clarify our thoughts and understanding. Communication is key to addressing all these different aspects of our lives. There are different ways we can communicate verbally, and each type has its own impact. The main types are aggressive, assertive, passive, and passive-aggressive communication. Let's explore each one. Aggressive communication sounds like this. This is what we're doing. And if you don't like it, tough. It's characterized by sarcasm, talking over others, being harsh, critical, or patronizing, and generally putting others down. While aggressive communication might help you meet your needs quickly, it often alienates others and can damage relationships. Passive communication, on the other hand, might sound like this. I don't mind, that's fine. Yes, all right. People who communicate passively tend to be compliant, talk very little, and put themselves down while praising others. This type of communication ignores your own needs and often leads to misunderstandings or built-up resentment. Passive-aggressive communication is a bit tricky. On the surface, it seems passive, but underneath there's often hidden anger or frustration. This type of communication includes behaviors like giving someone the silent treatment, spreading rumors, or subtly sabotaging others. It's not direct, and it doesn't effectively resolve conflicts. Finally, there's assertive communication, which might sound like this. That's a good idea. And how about if we did this too? Assertive communication is about expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully, while also considering the needs and feelings of others. It's the healthiest and most effective way to communicate because it leads to mutual respect and understanding. Now let's talk about nonverbal communication and listening. These are just as important as the words we say. Nonverbal communication includes things like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. It often speaks louder than words. Listening is a key part of communication, and there are two types we need to understand: passive listening and active listening. Passive listening is when you're quiet, making eye contact, and showing you're engaged with nonverbal cues like nodding. But active listening goes a step further. Passive listening involves focusing on the speaker without distractions, like turning off your phone and facing the speaker with open body language. It's about being silent and showing you're engaged by nodding and leaning in. This makes the speaker feel heard and comfortable. Active listening, on the other hand, is about interacting more with the speaker. It involves restating what you heard to make sure you understand, reflecting on their feelings, and expanding on their thoughts with open-ended questions. This kind of listening helps build deeper connections and ensures clear communication. Here are some examples of active listening. You might say, "It sounds as though," or "Do you feel?" These are ways to reflect what the other person is saying. You can also encourage them to share more by saying things like, "Tell me more," or "Do you want to talk more about that?" This shows that you're fully engaged in the conversation. So that's a wrap on communication. Remember, the way you communicate can either build up or break down your relationships. Practice these skills, and you'll not only express yourself better, but you'll also understand others more deeply.